Live stream. Thank you. Good morning. I'm excited. I'm bouncing. I always laugh when I start going. Dick, 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 dick. Go visual as you can. Recording is in progress. Hello, Facebook world, etc. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for going visual. It's great to see everyone. I love seeing everyone. I mean, it's great to see your name. It's really great to see you. There we go. And we're recording. So yes, Maggie, we're on. Yes, we're recording. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Look at that. She just comes right through my room. It's just so cool. She just, Archangel Maggie is just handled my room. All right. So hello, today is, let's see, April 5th, 2022. And this is number Alive with Us. That's much easier. This is number 11. So welcome everyone. Go visual as you can. Some of our team that it looks like I'm on a bunch of times because they like seeing my picture. Not really. That's not what it's about. In fact, every time it's on, it's like, well, my head's a little smaller now because I've trimmed up. Anyway, it's all good. Today, we're going to do first we do a review, then find out what's happening, and imagine more people are going to come on because again, 26 people signed up, but it could just be whatever it is divine. I'm clear on that. We have been accomplishing amazing things in various aspects of Zoom land, some of which is here, some of which is doing other things. We have a Q&A thing. I was going to see if Lisa was with us today, Lisa, because she had such anyway. So we'll share a little bit about what's going on. And then my integration is going to be merging the 7 steps of my Word Made Flesh. And our current printing is sold out. So we have our second printing coming, which is going to be brand neutral, which we open it up to not a specific focus on a particular company. We're opening it up to somebody can go in going, I got stuff going on with my kidneys. You find your kidney herbs and then wherever you get them, and then you go, or whatever is supporting your kidney, and then you go to the decrees. It's going to be, I believe, much more open architecture, which, the more I'm in this, I'm going, oh, let's reach everybody. So in the past, we reached about, potentially a couple million people. Now we're going to reach a couple billion people. I mean, like the idea. So you're all creating a seed for that. So remember, go visual if you're on this call, on this Zoom. Thank you. If not, you can join. There's a link in our chat to be able to link up with Facebook or YouTube. And that way you can just watch it. We ask everyone to be on, to be visual for obvious reasons, because we like to dig and scratch consciously. It's very fun to watch all this. All right. A couple of requests I have. Thank you all for joining. Vote victory. And you do it your way, I do it my way. And if you haven't heard this before, the way I do me is I am my own permanent victory in the light. I mean it. I feel my meaning in each word. I light myself up. And then who's ever working, speaking, whatever, if we do any demonstration tonight, or today, what's my name and who's my daddy? Vote their victory. So I am your permanent victory in the light. I am our permanent victory in the light, something like that. And those words for me light me up. So that's why I use them. Be fully and completely present, be really focused, stay, as much as you can. It makes a huge difference. Remember, if you're on, my request is, if you're on this, you're visual, you go visual, or you drop off and link up through Facebook or YouTube. If you don't do that, our team will do that for you, because we choose to have anybody that's on. We love you. And this is for visual stuff. And I believe it really doesn't even make that much difference, but still. All right, so that's that. So we have just completed 2 Saturdays ago, we completed Sacred Body Language Translation, a 4-hour boot camp. And I really like that we called it boot camp. And how many were in that? Anybody here? Was anybody here? 4-hour? Okay, great. And then the following Saturday, or one Saturday back, we did bio-optical holography, which is really, for me, going, all right, 4 hours. They're showing people the cosmic nature of our peepers. I mean, it's wild. So how many were in that? All right. So, and I mean, let's do it this way. Those that were in that class, what happened in SBLT? Just quick share. Were we able, because I was doing that, was I able to bring a big, huge, specific understanding, experiential understanding in 4 hours? Mic yourself. If so, you don't, not just bunch of bobbleheads. You can please share. You can actually hit the microphone and go, yes, that will work. It's good for you. All right, who's second? Victoria.
I, of course, was in both boot camps, and boot camp is a big word for me because of my military background. Yeah. So what that means for me is show up and get in shape. And I learned things in the last 2 courses I have heard for the first time in me, because of the delivery, because of the precision of what you offered for us, and the participants were fully engaged, and the intensity of the 4 hours seemed to be a real lightning speed piece for me. And I am so appreciative of that, and looking forward to what's occurring this coming Saturday in Life Upgrade Coaching.
And how long have you been studying this material on some level?
Since the 1800s.
No, really, but since when? That's my standard line.
34 years.
Yes. So if you can imagine jumping back in with a 30-year, at least direct class hiatus with a whole bunch of study before meeting us way back, Helene and I way back, and then jumping back in, man, we come up, it's time. It's really time we master all this stuff. Anyone else on, any share? That's succinct. I love that one. Any share on BioOptic? Anyone? Cynthia, I want to ask you, were you in on that or were you traveling? You were in, you saw it, you did it?
I was in and out because I was traveling in the mountains in Colorado. So I'd be in for 10 or 15 minutes and out for 2, and in for 10 or 15 and out for 2.
I got it. And you're still traveling because that's where we can hear you at the thing. Anyone else that did the BioOptic? And it could be Victoria again, whatever. Go ahead, Minnie.
Yes, for me, I had never really looked at my eye until that day, and I kept doing it on our breaks. And I could see changes in my eye. I believe I asked you, is it possible that your eye can change that quick? And you said yes. And I saw it. And I thought it was my imagination, because I was like, surely it can't happen this quickly, but yes, it can. And yes, it can. So
let's take that just for a second. Me too. When I was taught this happens, this, in study of iridology, this happens, this doesn't. This is genetic, this is forever. When I started seeing things change because I interacted, took a person through a memory, instead of telling them what's wrong, I would ask questions, and I shared it in this particular thing. And I mean, when I'm being with a person, I'm watching their eyes change. In me, I had to adjust my consciousness to going, well, now I can put it in words. Back then, it was like, how do I even do it? What am I seeing? Is that really? I mean, me too. I had to evaluate. Am I making this up? I mean, my doubt level's gone. You are making this up. But let's just pull that off for a minute. And Minnie, do you get it's all consciousness? It's all current. It's all now. It's all live. So, and what did you see just in general? What did you see happening in your iris? Let's say whatever it was.
Well, number one, I saw it get brighter. And then I actually started seeing I believe they called them soras, because this is all new language for me.
Yes, ma'am.
And I started seeing some of them show up.
Wow. And that's funny, because if they went from a sora is like a miasm or sora, PSORA, or psoriatic itch spot, it's also called. It's not sitting in the fiber, sitting on the fiber. So the fact that it went from maybe more of a latent hidden to, hello, I'm over here. It's like you picked it and you agreed to help many. And did you agree to help many?
Yes, I did.
And
yes, what I have.
Yes, I am. How's that? I'm with you all the way, and you are. So now, if everybody can get, I'll run through all the different tools we're representing here. But do you get that the individual, well, first, when I saw a spot in the eye, dark brown, orange, red, whatever color it is, I would try to fix that problem. And then finally one day, I mean, if you could just be with me in that, I went, oh, that's not in the structure of the body. That's a rider. That's on top of Oh my gosh. So in other words, what I went is, were you strong? Did you agree to help many? Because that's a lineage carryover, and it's called a miasm. It means it's carried forward from our lineage. And so, Minnie, do you get, I was strong enough in my coming into this particular earth, whatever it works, however it all works, to help many. Only here's the beauty. I also thought, well, the way we help many is we go out there and go, hello, Minnie, I'm here to help you. Yes, everyone, I love it. Touch and breathe this day. I feel you over there upstairs. No,
No.
it's on us. All we got to do is wake us up. Yes, Minnie, do you get it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, how many like it lighter? And again, in the eyes, if we're moving upscale, our eye gets lighter, fibers get straighter. Usually the pupil gets smaller, which of course straighten out the fibers, all that kind of stuff. So thank you, dear. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. And I said,
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you. You are welcome. I'm going to play with everything. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. Anyway, you are welcome. Remember, that's a really powerful, you are welcome. It's really cool. All right. So now today, I'm going to be merging the 7 steps. I've got some of this up visually to show you and show me because I'm going, what was number 6? What was number 5? Anyway, so I got it figured out. And also I'm speaking really fast today, so I can get about 6 hours into our 1 hour, if you notice that. So just turn your listener up a little bit faster and it might help as I get to the point. That's where, and remember, anyone on, please go visual. So I'm going to be merging 7 steps, and conscious language is a big, huge player in this thing. I mean, I call them codes of consciousness. I'm going to review them with you today. So next Saturday, we have Life Upgrade Coaching, where the whole system comes together. And the first time I ever taught it, just so you get a sense of what the material is, first time I put it into words called Life Upgrade Coaching. It was 21 days, I think, back then. And people came the way they started out, and they left in a bucket because they were completely reshaped in 21 days. I mean, can you imagine? Now we do it in a couple hours, but back then it was okay. How many can imagine 21 days? You know what I mean? Come on now, come on. How many get, we find whatever's going on upgraded. So in the system, conscious language is how we're creating our reality. Decree a thing and it shall be established unto you. By your words, you shall be justified, and by your words, you shall be condemned. I'll go over some of that stuff. And I use scripture not as religion. Some folks have found me recently who I guess espouse to be Christians, letting me know that I'm not a Christian. And because I wrote this that way and I wrote this way. And I mean, I'm going, look, Christian is named twice in the Bible, as far as I found. And it means the follower of Christ. I found maybe I shouldn't be following Christ. Maybe I should go merge with, Paul writes, unless you fail, or Christ is in you, unless you fail the test. I'm not talking religion. And I'm not talking about, I'm going to get, I got something inside of me I'd prefer to be with. Actually, let it speak. My God, I can do all things through. Anyway, so it's fascinating. I haven't had that happen in decades. And of course, I've come out of the closet now. I love scripture and I love Christ. What can I say? I love Christ ever since I've been 7, and he sat in my room and didn't say a word and spoke a lot. I'm not this is me. I just love Christ, but I don't need anybody else to love Christ. If I love Christ, that's all that matters. And there's other people that are going, there, going to hell. He's like, oh, well, the person that said it is the one that goes to hell. What you put your attention upon, that you become. So that's about what I'm choosing to share, because I got this really long little email of all these. I was like, that's a lot of wasted energy, because I just hit delete. I just hit delete. So what I'm sharing with you is this is not about religion. You all do what that is for you. This is about having an understanding of our co-creative nature in life and adding these steps together. And if it doesn't fit your strategies, I say this in every class, then renegotiate it. If I say a word that you don't like, you stick your word in there. How many love that idea that if I say, purple and you go, no, red, well, stick red in there. If I say purple, you know how to translate. I mean, come on, let's get it together. Instead of being a contraire, how many like being a harmonizer? If there's a dissonance in music, You can come up with a sound that creates a beautiful sound by whatever it is, and it can bring harmony to everyone. How many like being a harmonizer instead of a warizer? Come on, and so anyway, that's my invitation. So the whole system is not right and wrong. It's the whole system, mastery systems, I'll call it that, is awakening whatever's in us that's masterful. And it's not our personality, mine or yours. And it's not about being right or, hey, I'm more masterful than you. And that's not very masterful. And whatever you do unto the least of these, scripture says, as code, God says you've done unto me, which to me is all life everywhere. So if I give myself, my little self, love and compassion and forgiveness, it's going everywhere. And if I judge my little self inside or yours, I'm actually judging all life everywhere. Not a good idea. So that's my little short synopsis of what I wasn't going to say today about the email that I got, which I said it anyway. All right. So I'm going to go over the 7 steps today so we can get a sense of how they flow. We have a brand new version of My Word Made Flesh coming out soon, very soon, which is brand neutral, which means not specifically focused on one particular company. It's going to be open up the architecture. And which is what I do anyway. I mean, I use whatever's best across the board. If somebody's got something going on and they're at home and I say, do you have any herbs? Because there's an H in it. And that's a joke, by the way, herbs. So I call them herbs, but anyway. And they go, no, chamomile tea. Well, that might work. Do you have any spices? Yes. Oh, we most likely can use a spice or 2 or 3 or 4 and get things. You got any basil? You got any whatever thyme? Do you have time to have basil? Whatever. All right. So I'm on a roll today. What can I say? So in other words, how many love the idea that you can pretty much, like the Native Americans, which is what has always been true for me since I studied this stuff. The Native American would say, anywhere you are in the world, within 50 feet of you is everything you require. Like poison ivy, what grows next to it? Jewelweed. Poison ivy, what grows next to it? The antidote or the remedy for poison ivy is jewelweed, and they always grow together. How cool is that? Every time every time mankind creates a toxin, God grows another herb or whatever it is to pull that thing off the plant. That's the perfect balance. So for me, I'm going, all right, let's add in thought, word, emotional patterns. Let's add in, I love, I touch, I breathe, this day I feel. Let's add in, what does this turn into? I mean, like the idea of, oh, I have fear. And when I get rid of fear, it comes back 7 worse than the first. How many have ever done that? How many got rid of fear and found friends and came back? What would happen if we put our arms around fear and we went, yo, fear, I love you. I touch and I stay. I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay, I feel. And then the size of the fear, when we touch it with love, true love, flips into that size, courage, faith, trust, security, and confidence and assuredness. Anyone? How many have been getting rid of things that go, I'm coming back with friends? Come on, how many have? How many have ever gotten rid of boy, I hope I never find another person like that, and another, and another, and another, and another. And come on, how many have done all that? So this whole system is about, all right, where are we? Not who are we, where are we? And again, everything I'm doing, you look in the eyes, body language, life situation, that's not who you are. You are, I am that I am. It's just where you are. And once we get that, once you go, oh my God, I'm a bad person. No, you're just experiencing something you don't like. How many I need to wear the cloak of badness? How many have? Anyone? One? How many? I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and yes. Okay. So I'm, come on, I'm codependent, I'm stinky, I'm fat, I'm this. You're just a great, glorious being of light that might be wearing more cellular size than you require. But you have something in you requires it or you wouldn't have it. It's called waiting for something. WEIGHTING, not WAI. How many have ever gained weight while you're waiting for approval? 1.5, 7. Okay, good. So now do you get, all right, so we're going to go through the 7 steps, then aware of conscious language. What we say we get. How many have been able to do that? Oh, I just got a Facebook share. It was, there's a sign with a post. I just got it this morning. I nicked it. And there's a sign with a post and a van has run into the post. And it says, you can't miss us. And the van didn't miss it. It ran right into it. I'm going, maybe not a good idea. I've got a whole, from way back, a whole bunch of sports people who would say certain things, and that exact same thing, an injury happened to them, cancel clear. So by our words we shall be justified, and by our words so that alone, just conscious language is what I call it, pure speech is what scripture calls it, is a huge study. Well, that's not only what we're doing here, we're also doing that. We have body language. And how many, when you first joined or found out about this, got embarrassed that you had to scratch your ear and you went, I'm not going to scratch my ear. I'm not going to scratch my, I'm not. How many did? Come on. With some shame, blame, guilt, whatever. Me too. How would I know? I didn't just read that in the book. I was even teaching. Sometimes I get something on my cheek and I go, yes. And we sometimes can show, I go scratch it, hiding that I'm actually scratching. I have done that 1,000 times. And then I tell myself afterward, but right away, it's like, if I scratch my cheek and they're knowing, they're going to ask me, they're going to know something about me that I don't know yet. Well, so what? So if I'm voting victory, that's all I'm getting back. What? If I am voting victory, that's all I'm getting back. What? If I am a radiant being of light, the only thing I agree to coming back in is love. Anyone else? I'm going to be going, note to self, vote victory. It's a two-way street. I vote your victory. I bless you. I see perfection. That's all that's going to come to me. So if I've got, oh, they're judging me, I must be judging them to judge me. How many go archetype self? Hello, note to self. Big one. Denise is rocking on that one. What'd you get on that one? Go ahead, Denise. Sure. When she goes, oh, well, I mean, I exaggerated, but go ahead, Mike. You can do it. Look at her. Oh my gosh, she called on me because. Go ahead, Mike yourself. What'd you get?
Okay, say it again.
How many, with permission, how many heard the, how many heard the codependent sigh? And the thought form's going, la, 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 la. So how many know that when we perceive a judgment from someone toward us, that we are actually not a voting victory, not a wrong. We have actually begun to judge ourselves through that person. That's said differently, but do you get it? So what does that mean? What does that change for you, Denise?
Yeah, wow. The Lord for me has been working on me for several years about judging people, not making a judgment, not being, in fact, at one point, I'm like, I said to him, can I even have an opinion? And it was like,
so wait, I gotta laugh on that. That is funny. Oh, go ahead, honey. But I think anyone, how many go, let's negotiate here. Go ahead, honey.
Right. So, but I looked up the definition for opinion and it said a judgment. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, that's something that he's been working on me for a lot of years, but it was like, oh, when you said that, it just hit me like, oh my gosh, this is why it's so important.
Well, I can help you big time. This is language. I'm focusing on not judging. We cannot not. So if I vote victory, I'm not nodding. I'm not judging. I don't know. Replace it. God is a God of what is. God is a God of what is. Life is a life of what is. What it is. So now do you get, oh, I bless everyone. Say it, Denise.
Yes, I bless everyone.
Yeah, how many which I bless, and then she got a yes going on. I love it. And I vote victory. I see, and I'm using my words, you would use yours, but do you get, if I say right now, Denise, don't judge and don't think about pink elephants floating from the left to the right with a purple spinning tail and orange polka dots on the ears. Yes, don't do either of those. No judging and no elephanting. Are you?
Of course, because you put it in my mind.
Yeah, exactly. So we're putting it in our mind to not judge. So do you get, this is the conscious language piece. Everyone master conscious language, your version of it. It is, and what I love is you don't really learn it. I don't learn it. It's in our heart. It's what we're built by conscious language. The word is made flesh. Yes. So if I look at whatever built me is still structurally vibrating me, I can go into my heart, which is already pure speech. Cool. Yeah. So this is where, the Lord is working. How the Lord is in you. He ain't working on you.
Yes,
How many,
I know.
how many get that? How many go? And then how about I remember instead of working on? How many been working on the dealing with? And when you said it perfectly, the breath indicated codependence. There, even there. How many saw it? It was a couple. Not wrong, voter victory, kids. I always go, well, this is going to be whatever it is. I like to make it real versus theoretical. So now do you get, if I can forgive my codependence, which I believed happened in the metaphor of eating from the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which I get may have happened to every one of us. That's my take. To come to the earth, we had to go through the Adam thing of, and the Adam and Eve and all that, eating from the fruit of the tree, metaphor of the knowledge or thinking of right and wrong, good and evil, instantly moving from grace and union and becoming embarrassed. Embarrassed, think of the word. Embarrassed. Shame, blame, guilt, all that stuff was built. And that codependent side was where we've been holding our breath. And then when the truth comes out, we can hear, I've been holding my spiritual inspiration based on the thought of another. That happened at the fall from grace, potentially. So maybe every one of us is going to go back through codependence, forgive it, and then we start to return to grace. Only love does that, not being right. So Denise, you get, instead of God's working on me, which I agree with myself, but how many get, maybe I'm remembering.
Yes.
And then in remembering, it's so much faster than some outside, which I claim inside, still outside, which I claim inside, working on me. Got it? How many love the idea of, my creator is me, my real self?
Yeah.
And I love it. I see in a new way. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. Or I'm seeing, which one?
I am seeing, I've been seeing, this has been an ongoing progression with him.
Even now she's going progression. Me too. How many start to use?
If that was the right word, but
but not right. You say the word and then you lay it on the altar of your conscious. Me too. And then how many like the idea? Pop the word out there and then edit if necessary. I want, Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Okay, I choose, but even that's not an outcome. I remember. How many like remember? It's like ding, 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 something's happening. So now, was it the way you're seeing or being seen?
both.
Very good. I mean, how many like that? Look at the aha. So that was, now we're back full circle to anybody out there. How many have left your body and have been floating around finding someone to judge you so you can go, they're judging me? How many have? How many been disembodied?
Probably.
And I believe that potentially happened when we're going right, wrong, right, evil, good and evil, good and evil. Oh my gosh, who out there? I mean, am I okay? Am I okay with you? Am I okay? But even that doesn't work. So do you get, okay. Peace, be still, and know I am God.
God, yes.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Wow. So Denise, that will all with just a short little look on your face, and thank you, dear. And thank you, because this is sacred. Yes or no?
Yes.
Were you made wrong by me? No. And do you get it? I mean, some people go in there, he was like upgrading me, or he was, or they or she was correcting me. That's not correcting. That's not that. It's finding, where are we? Not who are we? Where are we? How many love? Whatever's up right now is where you are, not who you are.
Yeah.
I love that for me. And then I can go, and then, the universe is working on me. Well, the universe is in me. And I can remember, which means reconnect. I can remember I am that I am. I can remember love. And love is our source code. How many know if I do anything right, wrong, good, bad, hot, cold, you, me, I produce karma. I produce more of where I was. Whatever reaction happens, I've got to correct that. But if I can forgive my reaction, and that sound, that's our me self in there. That beautiful either too much beef, cancel, or that's our I am. And so we start coming in. Now, all the rest of what I'm sharing in like my word made flesh and the 7 steps is literally from the architecture of remembering for me the language of my heart, not the language of what's right. So how many, even now, how many are going, I remember? How many like it? I remember. So what happens in 1 year, one of the steps in this steps, what happens now that you remember, you're already remembered by your creator?
Wow. It's almost, it's
Cancel
heart-
it. Yeah,
my heart is expanding to receive all he has for me.
good. So what happens now that you have let yourself fully remember your full anointed self?
Wow.
Now, each time, wow, which upside down is mom. I'm going to get that. Wow, just turn it over. It's mom. So you look and then the lean forward and then all of a sudden, whoa. And that, how do you put it in words? It's mostly breath, spirit
Right.
moves. Wow. Wow. Yes, this is everyone. We're going to get to a point where we're in, it's been called reverie. I'd like to not use religious terms because they can get crystallized and right, wrong stuff. But how many love the idea of coming back home into grace? How's that?
Yes.
So if I can remember grace where I'm already loved, I'm already forgiven, and then I agree with it, I'm already loved and I'm already forgiven. That's the open door. And then I go, well, now that I'm already loved, and I just walk through the door and be the end from the beginning at the next wave. It goes on forever. So what happens now that it's been a year and you remember being loved from within yourself on your true self?
I am able to truly love and show abundant grace to everybody.
Able to? Now that it's been a year, are you able to?
I am. I am that I am. It is just who I am.
Yeah, so I share abundant. I share not I'm able to. I
Okay.
share what?
I share abundant grace and love to everyone.
And what you just said is I share abundant. No, not wrong. So now, that's where body language comes in. I give myself permission. I say yes, something like that. So is it time for you to say yes to already being home in grace?
Yes, it's time for me to say yes, already
So-
being home in
So now
grace.
say, I say yes
I say yes
to what?
to being home in grace and
Mm.
love.
Now, y'all get, this is sacred, yes or no? Where's she moved? There you go. Yeah, how many know this is Tetris? When things move on the screen, I think it's pretty funny. So do you get, now there's been 2 years, what's new and different for you, Denise, the courageous one?
Yes, I am
Yeah.
courageous.
How many like it? That's exactly courageous. Anyone? Me too. How many like the idea of, oh, I'm courageous?
Yeah.
Yes. So what's new for you in relationships? Are you still working on not judging?
No.
Do you all get? She just was a look. I know. High five. I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. She went. I'm the Lord. I'm gonna do my version. The Lord is working on me, dear Creator of all life, everywhere in me, and all the other ways I've read about you in Scripture. Please help me stop judging. The God is God of what is, and we're go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to use the only way I know how to say
Go ahead.
this.
Yeah, lay it out there.
This all started several years ago, maybe 7. And so that's the only way I know how to describe it. Now I have a much bigger, and because I have remembered, I have a much bigger picture of him. In fact, I refer to him, I am that I am. You have helped me realize that, but I refer to him as Trinity. And so even when I get a thought, I go, thank you, Trinity, or a remembrance of where I laid my keys down, for instance, or something, anything like that. I'll just say, oh, thank you, Trinity, because I know it's the I am in me. I mean, there's like, I call us the quad squad because there's 4 of us here, right here. So,
And 4 aspects of the same being. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and again, the Trinity, the power of the 3 times 3, big stuff. Yes. I
Yes.
mean, big stuff. And how many love the idea that we can, and for me, how do I translate that to me? Thought, word, feeling. How many like that thought, my thought, including all the 16 senses, my word and my feeling. And when I can put them all together, I have instantaneous manifestation. Denise, thank you for being our divine instrument of remembrance today. I mean that. Thank you. And also elegantly and easily by grace. How many get, it takes a lot to just be fully present and wake up in the middle. How many would rather wake up confident, even if it's, thank you, I upgrade. Oh, thanks for pointing that out. Anyone? It takes courage to do that. So thank you. Wow. I love it. All right. So now I'll go back into what I think I was going to talk about today. Thank you for life for doing this. So we've got 7 steps. I'm going to show you that. Conscious language again. How many get just that? Not judge. Oh, I vote victory. I love. I see perfection. I see through every perceived illusion into the truth inside of it. Our greatest weakness inside of it is our greatest strength. I mean, how many like these are laws? I'm going to say immutable laws. And how many have ever had a weakness that you transcended, shifted, whatever, and you were stronger than anyone else around you because you had the weakness and you strengthened yourself, you tempered yourself. At first, how many went, Mom, so bad that I've got this weakness? How many did? How many did that same thing? And I love Minnie going, I'd rather not raise my full hand on that, just a single little finger because it's in the past. I love it. Very good. All right. So now when I go through these, I'm going to go through the 7 steps, and then I'm going to talk a little about what the Saturday class is called Life Upgrade Coaching, which is, and I'm going to say it now before I jump into the visuals. When I demonstrated this class, the first time I gave it, Life Upgrade Coaching, the 21-day thing, and someone would come up as an example in front of the class being videoed with our group there, let's say 20, 30 people. In Flat Rock, East Flat Rock, which Flat Rock is a tiny little town. There's also another town right next to it called East Flat Rock. Like, I choose to know why they had to have 2 Flat Rocks, but anyway. Good friend of mine has a beautiful sanctuary is what the building is called. So the first person goes up, and even before they sat down, they told me through body language, breath, the codes, which I'm going to go over, exactly what was up and what was returning before they made a sound in voice. And I went, all right, I got it. And they're going, what are you talking about? You got it. I haven't said anything yet. Yes, you did. You said a whole. So in other words, how many love the idea, if I'm voting victory, if I'm seeing perfection, if I'm going, God is the only presence of power acting here. How many love it? Not judging, just listening. All truth will be revealed. If I have eyes, let me see. If I have ears, let me hear. Always spirit is right here going, and we'll go globally right now. Whatever's going on in the planet, as horrendous as I perceive it is, all things work together for good for those who love God. My job is I love God. All things have a purpose under heaven. How many have had to, somehow you're going to use this for your purpose? And it could be my own shame, my own embarrassment, my own pain, my own injury, my own whatever. How many get somehow in this is a miracle? And I can simply say, thank you for helping me agree with the miracle. Even if I don't know it, I trust you. You got your miracle. So all things work together for good. All things, name every one of the stinky little things going on and the good stuff. All of them, all y'all, if you're in Texas, all y'all work together for good for those who love God. And then I always add, I love God. I love God. I love God. I might have to say it 500,000 times to help me remember how much I love God, because instead of listening to the shortness of the situation, I can love God, and then a miracle unfolds. So to me, it's like, all right, what I've done is to the best of what I'm sponsored in, really, because not my little self doing it, I make up an experience that literally there is a way to systematically understand what's happening. People go up in life upgrade coaching this class, and they might, it's a certain breath. We heard it with Denise 3 times, I believe, a little codependent side, a little breath thing. That's part of the codes, language, body posture, position, even when they're walking up, the little comment about, oh, I don't have my notebook or something. The subconscious went, just say I don't have, and then they add notebook. Well, we now know I don't have is the issue. How exciting. How many get, woo. And how many, like I'm working, the Lord is working on me. Help me stop not judge, not this, not. How many notice that creates knots? So is your God a God of don't do, go to hell, don't stop, or is your is? How many like the isness of life? What it is, God is, I am that I am. It's not I am not that I am not. And how many people have heard people espouse to be something religious or whatever it is, in that you can't, you don't, you shouldn't, you don't, you can't, don't judge, can't stop, don't. And that's just babble. It's not wrong. We better confuse their language for there's anything they cannot do. What? Listen to that. We had better confuse their language. Who's the we? In scripture, it says we had better confuse their language. Who's the we? That's all of us. Somehow we all agree to this as eternal beings of light. We had better confuse their means perception of separation. How many have perceived that you're away from your God and you hope to get closer to your God? How many have done that? You can't get closer to your God. God built you. God is the makeup and form and breath and experience of everything in us, through us, and around us. I'm going to go, well, that changes everything. Exactly. It renews our mind. So how many love the idea? All right, greatest of these is love. I love. So then we have this five step: I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay, I feel, which renegotiates us back into our body. So do you get everyone at every moment? Those that were in the question and answer for SBLT that we just did as a special class that we have for our group that are doing the deep dive into sacred body language translation. Somebody asked a question and the door opened up for that person, and just gently, and somehow she literally became new. I mean, anyone, did she look different? Share verbally, just not bobbleheads. Just share. Did she look different?
Yes.
And what'd you see? What happened to her countenance?
Her whole face lifted, 20 years younger. And she sent out a text later, said, I looked in the mirror. Wow, I really do look different.
Thank you. I mean, and for me, I have to do little photographs, little snapshot. That's available for, and there's divine timing and all things. And how many love the idea that she just asked a question about do I go relive the memory, or do I just imagine from? That was the question. And she said, sometimes you go relive it a little bit, and then and I just have answer the question, but she gave signals, and I just how many don't raise your hand for fear that you might be made new in this very moment on Facebook Live or something like that? How many go, oh, get your hand down. I serve courage, faith, trust, security. Again, not wrong. How many have fear and do it anyway? That's it. How many get, well, maybe we don't battle fear. Maybe we just, yo, fear, I love you. Oh, and how about go do whatever you're afraid to do, as long as your heart says yes. In the Eastern tradition, it said that I would do, I do not do, and that I would not do, I go do. How many love the idea of doing what your little self's going, oh no, go do it, right? Get it done right away, instantly, boom. Oh, I don't want to call that person. Get on the phone. Right then and there, start to serve courage and faith, and you'll enter grace. How cool is that? All right, so I'm gonna go jump. Thank you all for sharing, by the way. And I laugh at myself on what I thought I was going to talk about today. Oh, setting up the room. All right. Well, let's do it this way. Is that big enough or that's good? Okay. So these are the 7 steps that are in my Word Made Flesh. Engage your limitation and love it. What this is about is taking the charge off. So if I hate my hate, obviously I haven't taken the charge off. If I blame being blamed, I haven't done that. If I am running from, and how many have had pain and are trying to get away from it? Got it? So me too, me one, whatever. So if I can just, I love your pain or your anger, your fear, your grief, your lack, your limit, anything, whatever is the step 1 of whatever's up, engage your limitation and love it. And then one of the ways to do it is the 5 steps. And again, I found these because they came out of my mouth over and over and over again in my working with others, working with myself. I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay, I feel, any order. And that's the way we take the charge off. Those that have actually heard the story about Billy woke up, again, anyway, if you haven't heard it, it'd be better to hear the whole thing. But again, when that happened, Sally, which is part of the story of a family that I know, are you willing to let your brother go? He was clinically dead. And that took a half an hour. And then she finally goes, if my God chooses my brother back, then I'm willing to. And then right after that, boom, 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 boom. And then miracle happened by 3:30 the next day. And that was 11:30 at night. So then the next is to find the actual encoded language construct. So you put in whatever's up, you put it into words. And this is where sacred body language translation works really well. I mean, how many saw when Denise was speaking that she was giving certain body signals that we could bring up and understand and use? And then step 3 is get specific with specificity factors. And how many have ever been vaguely moving upscale a bit, somewhat? I'm going to improve everything about my life. What specifically? Everything. Do you know what everything is? No. Well, honey, we get to change our relationship. What, honey? What was that? Everything. We get to change everything. What specifically? And then it finally comes down to the wife saying, at night when you pee, put the seat down so I don't dunk myself. How many know specificity is going to make a difference? Anyone from, all right. And then that's step 3. Step 4, then reverse, I'm going to say upgrade, but there's one way to describe it. It's called reversing the curse or upgrade with conscious language decrees. Now, somewhere in here, it can be any order. I love when Charles way back went, oh, it doesn't have to be this. I don't like following orders and order. Remember that, Charles, when you went, the order, he was like, it can be in any order. I'm in, man. It'll be fun. And it can be any order. That's what's completely amazing for me. All right. So reverse the curse with conscious language. And then now that I have my victory, now that it's been a year, now that it's been 3 years, now that it's been 5 years, that's that. And then change your frequency with conscious nutrition and faith builders. My favorite, I use them all. I use enzymes, minerals. We use a liquid chelated colloidal mineral. We use tinctures. One of my favorites is tinctures with pure essential oils in them. And even if I'm using an oil-infused supplement, even if I'm using a blend or an individual oil or whatever, if it's in the delivery system, the supplement or whatever, my job is to also get that oil and smell it, because something happens when we smell. I'm going to stay on that more and more and more and more about how important it is to bring olfactory in while we're giving our decrees. And then now that I've got all this, create an outcome map. And many people might do 3 of the shifts and get good results for a short throw. How many love the idea of being made completely new? And I mean, how many are going, what does that mean? And we won't know what it means. How many are willing to go on an exploration where you are fulfilled at a quantum expanded level from where you've been before? where you had to let go of everything. It was awesome. And also let go of everything. It was stanky so that you could receive the next blessing. I will pour you out a blessing, Bob, greater than you can receive, pressed down and overflowing. I mean, when I hear that, my little self's going, could you just fill up the cup I've got right here? Or like more money or more appreciation or more ease or more energy. And there's God going, look, the cup you got out, the angels who are going to help me do this is my joking about conversations with God. They're going to be pouring from the ocean, and you've got a little 8-ounce cup. So that when they put just a little splash, it's going to fill up your whole town. You're going to overflow. How many like to be in control? No, let me look good. Let me look appropriate. Let me just, be elegant and poised. Come on. How many like looking normal? Normal is overrated. I will pour you out, Bob, a blessing greater than you can contain, this consciousness, pressed down and overflowing. How many, that's when we get benefit, when somebody is going, oh, wow, yeah, like, yeah, Christopher Walken. How many get where we're like, wow, or crying or whatever? How many go, oh, that's not elegant? Yes, it is. It's grace. How many know that's instead of, well, I've improved my life greatly. It was very nice. Yes, I worked diligently and now I'm much happier. And I'm way more fulfilled. How many didn't get very sparked by that? That's not sparky. That's more like mimeograph machine. All right. So next one, and then I'll come at it now that I've got this, all these lines, who, what, when, where, why, and what, where, shape, or form, seeing, what, smelling, what, hearing, what, motion, direction, tactility, pressure, sound, that use 16 senses. That's how. A reminder, I love. I touch. How many have got certain things you're going, I ain't touching that? How many know that's bad? How many know if I got rage and I'm trying to move away from rage, it's going to get bigger or it's going to go down scale, but it's still collecting. So if I can go to my rage self, yo rage self, don't act it out. Yo rage self, it's okay. Yo hate self, it's okay. How many have ever had hate? Hate is the absence of love. That's all it is. Darkness is the absence of light. That's all it is. How many have been battling darkness? Do you get how stupido that is? Because darkness is simply, it's an absence of something. Oh, you're bad. Yeah, really? Well, now you've added a whole bunch of bad charged life force to it. Maybe just turn the light on. The same with perfect love, casteth out, transforms, I believe, all fear. And then I make sure I breathe. And if you know the number of people in class when I'm demonstrating or whatever, I love, I touch, and they go, I breathe. I'm going, well, actually take a breath. Oh, and then they hold a breath again. No, keep breathing. That's spirit, that inspiration, inner spirit. How many know if you did these, you would have to move forward? I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay, I feel, I stay. How many get I touch and I stay? How many have gone, I'm aware of you over there. All right, I'm going to touch you and run. I'm going to touch you and run. I'm going to, how many have? Did you touch and run? No, I touched and stayed. I mean, right back there, 0.2 of a second ago. Well, yeah, I ran. But now I remember to stay. If you ran, say I ran and let it be okay. You ran. Because if you rejudge yourself for running, you're going to do it again. Yes, I'm going to get it. If you judge yourself, you're going to do it again. All right. And then I feel, and all these, I love, I touch, any order. I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay, I feel, I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay. Any order brings us back home. And then from there, the quick review of conscious language. We're putting a bunch more in the new version of My Word Made Flesh. So this is, I believe I pulled it from this today. I choose to remember where I got it, but coach yourself. How many have been coaching others? Come on now. How many have? You should, you ought to, should, you need, you ought to. Let's not. Let's coach ourselves and forgive them. You'll see you'll become magnetic to good. I do anyway when I do it. Then move from right, wrong, and good, bad into what's my highest choice. and be fully and completely present. Remember, specificity brings up feelings. Words spoken with feelings and specificity equals a done deal. Perhaps, pretty much, kind of, a lot, somewhat, frequently. No, specifically. And speak from your heart. That's where conscious language already lives. We're built by it. Let your heart speak without your head editing. And then explore the first words that come to you. They have truth in them. Remember, choice is always available. I mean, if the universe says you can either do this or that, your creator, all things are possible with God. There's 8 billion more options in God consciousness. Instead of moving away from something, move towards something. Instead of stating what is not, state what is. Be first person personal, here now, in your speaking. You know, I feel, I have, speak and think only what you choose to have come into reality now and continuously. What would happen if we lovingly allowed ourselves to use our spirit and our will, diaphragm will, and our breath to speak into existence only what we choose, and we were silent about everything else? Our physical form would begin to take on exactly what we're saying. You know, the word becomes flesh. Some people believe that's just for this one guy. Except that these things shall ye do, and greater things shall ye do. Oh, and then how many have ever said something went, oh, that's bad. That's just say cancel clear. How many have had to join a 12-step program when your little finger does the wrong key when you're typing? How many have gone right? Oh, my little finger, all right, 12-step program, hi, my little finger on whatever, on P. My little finger won't hit the P, won't take a P. Sorry, just having fun. No, how many just go delete, backspace, don't say, whatever? How many look down and go, little finger, your job is to go touch the P or the O or the L or the colon or the umlaut or whatever. So cancel clear is much easier. Or in the past, I was a raging maniac. And now I forgive my raging maniacness and I choose whatever. And then be a committed to listening. How many like being a committed listening? Just lock on and listen until their God speaks. Reach right through, forgive everything else, and pretty soon their God's going to speak. It's my most effective form of facilitation. Sometimes I don't say a word to somebody, and pretty soon they realize their dream from being major contracted by literally being a committed listening. Remember, your thoughts, your words, and your emotions or feelings, thought, word, and feeling, Trinity, create our reality. Not thoughts, not just words, not just feelings. And every word we speak is a prayer coming into reality. Scripture says, pray without ceasing. How many get? Every word is a prayer. Spoken and non-spoken. And then speaking is self-fulfilling prophecy. And then the codes, which I'm looking at my time going, well, we're going to do a continuous on Thursday, but we've got these codes: conscious language, domains of language, the gates of consciousness, facilitation code, sacred body language, translation code, imagination activation code, outcome facilitation code, breathing code, revision code, biooptic holography code, whether it's going on outside or inside, it's a code, spinal code, like straightness of spine, etc. Playing 125 code, technology of agreement, enthusiasm. How many have ever done something without full enthusiasm and it didn't happen? How many get, maybe I just, entheos means God in you, God in me. So do it with full spirit. Co-empowerment, healthy boundary, see perfection, emotional octaves, healing, universal code. These are all like in Life Upgrade Coaching, this thing on Saturday. I use every one of the codes. And what I love about this thing, what I call Life Upgrade Coaching, this aspect of it, is every one of us, like right now, Denise reached up under her left shoulder and scratched. So for me, it was just an itch. Yes, just an itch. But it means I'm restoring or some major blessing is coming in. And if I can move from just scratching to, oh, I'm restoring a blessing, my blessing, and follow and listen to what blessing, then my spiritual being, which is moving my body language around, has got my conscious mind agreeing with the prayer delivered instead of my scratch just going unnoticed by my conscious mind. And how many get, if I can go, I'm restoring my blessings and what, and then my body, how many love the idea that we will literally unfold perfection? All right, I'm going to see, we got to, when I looked up and saw it was back then, it was 3 minutes to go or 4 minutes to go, whatever it was. Like, I thought we were in like maybe 15 minutes. So, well, I might have to, yeah, it was a little longer than I thought. What'd you get today? What'd you learn? What'd you remember? Please share. Thank you. Mic yourself and wave. Denise has got the whole body language thing going on. Come on, anyone, how many got something today, and just share what you got? There's no right or wrong to it. I promise I won't coach you. Go ahead, Charles.
Saying the words with meaning.
Cool. And how many like the word me is in the word meaning? That's really cool. What else? What'd you get? Victoria.
Where you are is not who you are. You are where you are and upgrading. Each moment, each breath, each love, each touch, each day, I feel. Yes.
Cool. How many love that you're not your issue? How many love that that's not who you are? That's just what you picked. And you picked it. And now picking and a grinning is the whole idea. Anyone else? What'd you get today? Denise.
It's a little noisy.
Oh, go ahead, Cynthia. Go ahead.
It's a little noisy in here, and as Denise was upgrading, I was as well. Remembering my full I am that I am brings me into my full gratitude moment to moment to moment. And so I am now sitting in more gratitude, just full gratitude over and over and over continually.
That's the foam on the coffee. How many heard it?
It is.
That's the coolest. How many are going?
Coffee shop. Coffee. And I just have water, and still I'm.
Yeah, but now I'm ready. Like for me, I'm at least an hour away from anything like that. Okay, so thank you, dear. Awesome. Minnie, go ahead.
Yes. For me, I love the steps of I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay. I use those so much, and it takes the charge off, and I always go back to that.
Yep, me too. Just I do. And it's a love, a touch, I breathe, I stay.
I feel.
Yes. We left that one off. So I thought how many? Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you. Anyone else? What'd you get? How many are making a shift? Anyone? How many are shifting? Cool. And how many know shift happens? The first time I ever saw that on a bumper sticker, it got me. I didn't quite read shift. And then when I finally figured, I must have laughed for 4 hours. Yeah, it got me. Shift happens. Yep. Or shut the front door. That was another one that got me because I thought something else was going on there. I'm still such a boy, such a baby boy. Anyone else? How many know? Go ahead, Juliana.
I am remembering to breathe more today. I got a lot of yawns.
Yeah, and remember, yawning is just dropping it's bringing oxygen in. That's number one. And the masseter muscle, TMJ, action, authority, authorship, lower jaw feeling, upper jaw thinking. We're stretching out what we've been holding. How many have ever noticed you hold your grit in the past, grit your teeth? Yes. How many have been hoping that maybe mom and dad get along better while you're gritting your teeth? Yeah, or whatever, life, whatever. So do you get that as we begin to relax and love what we feel and think and vote victory, see perfection, things can change very quickly. How many like breathing fully versus breathing more? How about, and eventually spirit breathes us. We don't take a breath. How many like giving yourself a breath? Right now, give yourself a breath. To me, completely different than taking a breath. So if anybody's not in and they choose to, you can still join us for the Trinity of these classes. How cool, Trinity! The Trinity, we brought it back on for Denise. Oh yeah, Trin. Hey Trin. So, and I mean that in all sacredness, even though I'm a goof. I remember somebody was riding in a car and I learned that something about humor that was okay. And so I was starting to laugh, and the person riding next to me goes, yes, but I'm not sure potty humor is spiritual. Because I've had some, anyway, and I had, how many know, I mean, I might sit at the pearly gates, whatever, and I'm sure they'd be going, all right, we've got your whole list of your Akashic record here. And you know, how many know that everything that you've ever said, thought, did, reacted, what is in your, but it's been said, I mean, I love this idea that anything of imperfection is just clipped to your record. And it is burned up as you move into your ascended state, something I've studied while I've been on this planet. So how many love the idea that we're all already forgiven? Let's us transmute all that stuff by forgiving it, yes? And how about transform and forgive everyone else around us, which means that's we're giving ourselves as well. So thank you all for being here. Thursday, same time, same station. Any other announcements? Anything? Anyone?
Your whole group is still available. All the Trinity of classes are still available. You'll get recordings for SBLT. You'll get the recordings for VOH. They're excellent. And Life Upgrade Coaching is Saturday night.
So you can contact support at Mastery Systems. Yep, great.
Or Cynthia at Mastery Systems, either way, and I'll get you hooked up.
Awesome. Thank you all. Vote victory. Remember, you're the ones.